point of immigration is to destroy all that. That is the point. Everyone says, oh, the point is new voters. Well, of course the point is new voters, obviously. And the Biden administration has found a way to let people in illegally and then immediately let them vote. In some cases, legally. It's not legal, it's all illegal, it's all a crime. I mean, I don't care how they paper over the crime with some bureaucratic document. It's a crime, you're committing a crime, you're destroying democracy. But the intent actually, the plan actually is deeper than that. It's to destroy the cultures and the communities of the people of this country by adding new people with whom the people who already live here have nothing in common. Now, let me just say, they shut down this debate completely. No one says anything like this because they don't want to be accused of hating immigrants. I need the Fed to tell me that 25 million new people into my country is going to increase the price of housing stock? I think I knew that. So there's that. There's the effect on community hospitals, which have totally been destroyed. Have you been to an emergency room recently? Don't go. You can't get service. The hospital you pay for, you can't use because it's crowded with people. Maybe they're all great people. It doesn't matter. Too many people. So there's that, and there's the crime problem. And, they're always telling us illegal immigrants don't commit crime at a higher rate than native born. Well, first of all, any crime is too much crime. And someone who broke our law to get here in the first place has absolutely no right to commit any crime. You shouldn't be jaywalking, buddy. You're lucky to be here. By the way, we're paying for everything for you. It's outrageous, but actually the jails in Venezuela were emptied as they were in Cuba in 1980 during Mariel, of course, because government's like, oh wait, open border? Here, take people we don't want. So actually there is a huge cost to American citizens measured in lives, and a lot of people have been murdered, including in this state, by illegal aliens. The point is, there are all these obvious effects of mass immigration, but the one that nobody ever mentions is the most important and long-lasting effect, which is the addition of millions of new people that you have nothing in common with from a completely different culture will destroy your communities. And that's the most important thing. That can be fixed. No election's gonna fix that. No hiring of 1 million new cops is gonna fix that. All of a sudden, people aren't gonna be meeting at the churches and the bars. Not because the new people are bad people, but because they're different people, and you have nothing in common with them. And I don't know how we've been intimidated into not saying that. Somehow we have. You're like a racist if you think that. Well, first of all, I'm not a racist. But I don't care what you call me. That's true. But let's consider the idea. The less we have in common, the stronger we are? Is that true in your marriage? If you couldn't speak the same language as your wife, if you practiced separate religions, if you grew up in different countries, if you had nothing in common, would you have a stronger marriage? Of course not. You'd have a failed marriage. So what you're actually doing is dividing people. You're dividing people by putting people with nothing in common in close proximity to one another. And by doing that, you're destroying their communities. And you're doing that on purpose. It's exactly the reason you're putting public housing in residential neighborhoods. Maybe if you live in a place like that, you can't even conceive of the idea that it could change and that people from outside look at your happiness and are incited by it and angered by it and want to change it and want to destroy it. But I'm just telling you, and I don't mean to wreck your night, they are angered by it and they do want to change it. And you should fight like animals, like a cornered wombat. You ever try to get a cat in a box? Okay? Have you ever tried to get a cat in a box? Like to get an airplane. I don't admit ever having owned a cat, but I have seen that, I'll just say. It's total resistance. Total resistance. And that should be your posture as they try to destroy your communities with immigration and high-density housing. And I mean it.